Aloha, this is Heidi at Easy Peasy. Welcome to part 2 of our 2-part series all about flat cloth diapers. In the first video, we covered the basics of flats, and in this video, we're going to get into some of the many variations of flat cloth diapers. Again, the flat is just the absorbent portion of the cloth diaper, and you'll pair it with a waterproof cover for a complete cloth diaper. Most of the flats shown in this video are made of 2 layers of fabric sewn together. One of the nice benefits of that is if it's a type of fabric that tends to roll on the edges, once you sandwich those 2 layers together and sew around the edges, you prevent that rolling. In this video, we're going to cover Preflats, E-flats, tail fin flats, BeEflats, and fixed flats. And I've also thrown in contour diapers. They're not technically a flat cloth diaper, but we'll include them here as well. For each of these, I'm going to show you the shape, a basic way to fold them, how to put them on, and how they fit. There's a lot to cover, so let's dive in. First up is a pre-flat cloth diaper. I have 4 examples to show you from Noble Bebe, Fruit of the Womb, We King diapers, and a homemade one, do-it-yourself, using the Happy Hippos sewing pattern. This pre-flat is by Noble Bebe. It's the 1-size version. The fiber content on the Noble Bebe Preflat is 67% bamboo rayon, 28% organic cotton, and 5% spandex. I have it without a booster. I did order one of their super do-it-all boosters to add to this since my baby is needing some more absorbency. The reason these are called Preflats is they're sort of a combination of pre-folds and flat cloth diapers. You can fold this middle portion into thirds, so that makes it sort of like a pre-fold. It's also similar to a flat in that there's no elastics or snaps. It's just 2 layers of fabric sewn together. Noble Bebe offers newborn size, 1 size, and toddler size. I'm going to show you how I would put this pre-flat onto my daughter's baby doll. So first of all, a trick if the pre-flat is a little too high-rise for your baby is you can fold this portion down in the back. If it's still too long, you can also fold up the front as well. And then you fold this sort of into thirds here. Lay baby down, lining up the back of the diaper approximately with their belly button in the front. Now for a pre-flat, when I put it on, I kind of pinch or roll it in before passing it between the legs. Then tug up and over, up and over. Sometimes if the wing is too long here, I'll tuck it under, kind of square it off a bit. This one's a pretty good size. My preference is using a boingo to secure it on. You could also use a snappy as well if you have one of those. And then I just make sure that it's tucked in well around the legs. A pre-flat does give a very narrow fit. It's similar to sumo or smo style diaper. It's not as wide coverage on the leg as, like, say, a square stretchy flat would be. He weighs 15 pounds, 0 ounces. He's 28 inches tall, and he's 5 months old. Here he is wearing the Noble Bebe 1-size pre-flat. It's secured on with a boingo fastener, and I have it folded down a bit in the front. Pre-flats are a really trim-fitting cloth diaper, so when I use them, I like to pair them with a trim-fitting diaper cover, such as a Puppi wool diaper cover. This is a Fruit of the Womb winged pre-flat in size 3, so that's their biggest option. They also have what they call pre-flats, but are more pre-fold style. So if you're looking for this type of pre-flat on the Fruit of the Womb website, make sure it says winged in the name. This particular one is a butter version, so it's made with organic cotton, hemp, and spandex. However, this was just a tester one. I'm not sure if they're actually going to be offering these. So what I do to make this large size one fit on my baby is I fold this back down, and then I also kind of fold it another time, so it ends up with very thin wings. And then up, if I have to, I could fold that down a little bit, but lately I've just been doing it like this. And that works to get it to fit on my 5 months old. I do have a little bit trouble getting the snappy to hook into this fabric though. This is a nighttime pre-flat by WAHM Diapers. It's made with organic cotton. This one is different in that it's not stretchy. On the outside, it's a muslin, and on the inside, it's a terry type fabric, so kind of like toweling. So it's a little bit thicker than French terry that we tend to use in diapers in the United States. This makes kind of a bulky fit, but it's super absorbent, so it's great as a nighttime diaper. He's wearing the WAHM Diapers nighttime pre-flat. The wings are tucked under each other, and then it's also fastened with a snappy fastener as well. The rise is coming up pretty high on this one, so I'd have to pair it with a high-rise cover, such as the Bambi Abrazo with the rise all the way out. This pre-flat is one that I sewed using the Happy Hippos pattern in the one size with the extended wings. I like longer wings since sometimes I just tuck them in instead of using a fastener. For the body of it, I used 2 layers of organic cotton spandex French terry. The loops are on the inside, the smooth print is on the outside, and then I knew that wouldn't be enough absorbency, so it also has a doubler. This is 2 layers of organic cotton French terry and 1 layer of organic cotton velour. So I just lay that inside. The pattern comes with the doubler option. You could also sew it on and attach it if you wanted to. With pre-flats, I often change the wing shape when I put it on my baby. This is an E-flat. E-flats are specifically from Nikki's Knickers, and I will link to all of these shops below. They are all work-at-home mom shops. Whenever I saw pictures of E-flats online, I got the impression that these were like huge because how this portion extends out farther than the wings. But when I got it, I was surprised that it's actually not all that much bigger than a pre-flat by Noble Bebe. So for size comparison, on the bottom here is a size medium E-flat, and then this is a 1 size pre-flat. So the difference with the E-flat is it comes out wider, which gives more absorbency without the need to have to add an additional booster. These Noble Bebe pre-flats probably are intended to be used with a booster. They're do-it-all pad, or they sell boosters as well. E-flats are made with various types of fabric. I chose this one specifically because it contains wool in the blend. It's 56% bamboo rayon, 9% merino wool, and 5% spandex. So the woolness serves to provide really good absorption, and this is definitely fine on its own without any booster added. There's different ways that you can fold ones like this. I just kind of play with whatever gives a good width in the middle here to fit on my particular baby. So I do it kind of like that, and then bring on baby. This is super squishy. I really do like this fabric. Bring it up. And even though this contains wool, you still wash it just like regular diapers. It's not like a wool diaper cover that needs to be hand washed and has specific wash instructions. The wool is just 9% in here, so you just treat it like you would other diapers and wash it in your washing machine. Oops. You gotta get those claws to get in there. Again, I make sure it's tucked in around the legs, and this isn't super full coverage here the way a square flat would be. He's wearing the medium E-flat. I was having trouble using the snappy trying to put on the baby doll, and I realized I actually use a Boingo fastener when I put this on him. This is a tail fin flat. Tail fin flats are specifically from the shop Siren Sea Creations. Thank you, Brianna, for sending me 2 of these in order to include in this video. I really appreciate everyone who makes these videos possible. So I have 2 different sizes to show you. This is a size small, and it's a heavy wetter version. So since it's a heavy wetter version, it has this extra piece in the middle here that's attached to add some additional absorbency. This is one of the beautiful hand-dyed versions. That's one reason a lot of people get into stretchy flats, and then these different variations of flats is they're just beautiful works of art. The fiber content on this particular tail fin flat is 47.5% soy, which I'm assuming is probably a soy viscose. It's 47.5% organic cotton and 5% spandex. And then the inner is 66% bamboo viscose, 28% organic cotton, and 6% spandex. It can vary depending on the particular flat. There are various ways you can fold these. You can join the Facebook group for more examples. You know, if you want to try to bring the absorbency towards the front, these are very customizable. I just kind of go with the flow of how it naturally seems to fold when I'm doing my diaper laundry, so I'm not using an official fold. I just bring the absorbency in towards the middle. And with this heavy wetter one, this ends up being a ton of absorbency right up there at the front, which is perfect for my front wetter. Right now he's 5 months old and 15 pounds, and this is a good fit on him. So it's very similar how you would put this onto a baby. I do roll this in as much as necessary to get it to be able to pass between the legs. It's a bit thick to put onto this doll. And then I try to do somewhat of a good key method, which kind of pulling this up and rolling it in a bit along the legs and stretch it over. So I make it go up this way and bring it over. I think sometimes I have just tucked one wing under the other, but it's good to also use a snappy to make sure it's really secure. It's a little hard to put on the baby doll. You know, you'd want to roll it in well on the legs. So there's tons of absorbency right up front here, and it's not as thick at the back. Sometimes I kind of fold this down too, since baby still has runny poop and I don't want it shooting out the back. I think these colors pair nicely with our Bumby Abrazo wool cover, and that would be a nice absorbent nighttime option. He's wearing the size small heavy wetter tail fin flat. This is a size medium tail fin flat, just the regular version, not the heavy wetter, so there's no extra piece here. This also fits on my son, but it is a bit bulky at this point. So I just fold it something like this. Again, I'm sure there's more official folds you can look up in the photos inside the Siren Sea Creations Facebook group, but just doing like that ends up with a nice thick pad here. And I do like it being a little bit wider so I can really roll it around baby's legs when I'm putting it on. So after this portion, to try to do kind of a good key method and bring this up and then continually roll it around baby's legs before bringing it across. You can start to see all the different colors in this one. It's like surprise. You don't know what you're gonna get. And the other side is a little bit different as well. Kind of some purples and reds over here. This was a mystery one, so people didn't know till they received it what the color was going to be. He's wearing the size medium regular tail fin flat. I folded it down a little bit in the back to get the rise correct. This is a BeEflat or BeEflat by Spunky Rumps. They are a brand new brand, just barely launching. This is kind of long here. I can't quite fit the whole thing in the video here, but it actually does look sort of like the shape of a bee. The fiber content for the BeEflat is 66% Tencel lyocell, 28% organic cotton, and 6% spandex. I think she's also in the testing phase to make a natural organic cotton hemp version instead of the lyocell, so I'm excited to see how that pans out. For folding it, there's lots of different ways to customize. This tail at the bottom, you could bring it all the way up. For my front wetter, I like to fold it in half and bring it here. And then you can customize how wide you want it. You could kind of fold these twice when bringing them in, or you could just overlap it in. To me, even doing it like that, this is plenty thick enough here, and I like it a little wider to give good coverage on my baby for when I start rolling it in and bringing it up onto baby. Let's see how this would go on baby doll. This particular one is like huge for this baby doll. I can roll it way in there. This is super soft and stretchy, this Tencel form of rayon. I know in the past I was avoiding rayon, but man, this does give you soft, stretchy squishiness. You get that pop of color there. It's plenty long enough to kind of tuck that, but I would also use the snappy as well. So soft. And then just make sure it's rolled in on the legs. It's really cute how she makes it with this pop of color that shows on the back. He's wearing this Spunky Rumps BeEflat in size Babe. I folded down the back just a little bit to try to shorten the rise thumb. It's still coming up pretty high rise in the front there. Very nice around the legs. You want to roll over, show us the back? Yeah. I didn't want to fold down the rise too much and hide the little Spunky Rumps logo there. The BeEflat I like to use for nighttime and pair it under nice roomy wool bubble shorts. This is a fixed flat cloth diaper, which is a patent pending design exclusive to the Blythe Life. Thank you to Blythe for sending me this one, and then I also purchased one as well. So this portion is meant to be shaped similar to if you were to fold a flat cloth diaper in the origami fold, plus with this extra little tummy panel to make it even better when you're putting it on your baby. And then this half flat is attached, so this is where most of the absorbency is. On this regular version, it's just a single layer, and this is a size medium fixed flat. So I do a really simple fold, just folding it in. You could do something more complicated if you want to bring absorbency towards the front. This is plenty absorbent how it is, so I just keep it nice and easy. I'm sure there are videos where you can see different folds. So now it's resembling the origami fold. Fiber content will vary. For this particular one of the fabrics is 66% bamboo rayon, 28% organic cotton, and 5% spandex. And I believe it's this lighter green is 66% lyocell, 28% organic cotton, 6% spandex. So again, it can vary from different fixed flat exactly which type of fabric and what the fiber content is. So these are sewn together here. They won't get separated in the laundry. When it comes out, the wash and the dry, it's still all one piece. This is just 2 layers here for quick drying and 1 layer here. Let's try putting this on baby doll, although I think the rise will be a bit high on her. I might kind of fold down the rise a little bit there to help. Now I'll bring it in before passing it between the legs. One thing I like is if this tummy panel comes up too high, you can kind of tuck it under to shorten it. I like to make sure all the seams are tucked in as well. And then I would do sort of a good key method here, wrapping it up as I bring it up and around. And this is nice and stretchy. Bring up this side as well. So I tuck it in, but I also use a snappy as well to hold this in place. I like the regular absorbency fixed flat day or night under the wool bubble shorts. He's wearing the medium fixed flat in the regular absorbency. This one is a nice trim fit on him. These are both size medium fixed flats. This is the regular version and this is the heavy wetter version. And the heavy wetter version is quite thick. I thought that my son might need the heavy wetter, but it turns out that there's plenty absorption in just this regular version. The difference with the heavy wetter is on the inside. So these outside layers are the same. It's just this half flat that's sewn in. Instead of being one single layer, it's 2 layers. One thing that's nice about having 2 layers is if it's a type of fabric that tends to roll, once you sew the 2 different sides together like this, you no longer get the rolling. Well, at least not as much. So that's something I do really like about this heavy wetter. This medium is still a bit bulky on my son though. I think as he gets older, maybe as a toddler, it would kind of fit him better to have this thick of absorbency there. He's wearing the size medium fixed flat in the heavy wetter absorbency. This one's a lot more bulky and thick between the legs. Another cover that the fixed flat would pair well with is the Bumby Abrazo cover, and I do believe that Blythe will be offering these soon on her website. This wool cover plus this heavy wetter fixed flat would be a major bulletproof nighttime solution for a heavy wetter. And super comfy at the same time. This is a contour diaper by Spunky Rumps. We also looked at their BeEflat earlier in the video. Thank you so much for sending me both of these diapers to include in this video. The really cool thing about this particular contour diaper is that it has a pocket here to put additional absorbency. So it has this portion that's 2 layers of cotton and hemp, so really absorbent. But once you stuff it into that pocket, then you don't have to worry about a lot of different pieces that could come unfolded. It just makes one easy piece to put onto your baby. Contours aren't really technically flat cloth diapers. They're their own category of contour. I just wanted to include them in this video to make it simpler for me. So there's 1 layer of fleece here, and then there's 2 layers in the body, which means that most of this is 3 layers thick, so it does not dry as quickly as just a 2-layer pre-flat or a 1-layer flat would. This dries more in this similar to a fitted diaper. The fiber content for the contour shell is 67% tensile lyocell, 28% organic cotton, and 6% spandex. The print accent on it is 95% organic cotton, 5% spandex. The trifold inside is 55% hemp and 45% organic cotton. These diapers from Spunky Rumps I have in the size babe. So they offer squish, which is like for newborn, babe, which is kind of an infant or one size, and they also have topped for toddler. So we've got the middle size here. Let's see how we would put this on. It's a bit big for this baby doll, but I would roll it in a bit before passing it between the legs. And then kind of fan out this tummy panel here. Do a little bit of good key method here if I can before I bring it across. Again, you've got that nice pop of color, similar to the BeEflat. If it's a little long, I could either fold it here or I could tuck it under the other wing. I've got it way up to her arms. It's big on the baby doll. And then add the snappy fastener. I've been showing Boingo and snappies because that's what I use, but on a lot of these diapers you could also use diaper pins if you want to. And then I would roll it in around the legs afterwards. For her, this really would need to be folded down in the back. It's too big for the baby doll. But this nice print on the bum, and then the soft stretchy tensile here. So you saw with this contour, the difference from all these other more flat style ones is there really isn't folding that you need to do before you put it on baby. It's pretty much in the shape already, and you can go ahead and put it on. He's wearing the Spunky Rumps contour diaper in the size babe. For this contour, I like to pair it under a roomy cover, so the Bumby Abrazo or Bubble Shorts. We use pretty much exclusively wool diaper covers, so that's why I'm only showing wool covers in this video. If you'd like to learn more about wool diaper covers, I have lots of videos about it here on Easy Peasy. This is another contour diaper. This one is by the Atlas Butt. The super unique thing about this is the contour portion is 100% wool. It's a thin wool jersey. There's just a couple layers in this portion, and then there's some additional wool inside here. Wool can be used as a waterproof diaper cover when it's lanolized, but without lanolin, it can be used as absorbency as well. And then this is a half flat. One side print is a stretch cotton, and then this blue side is wool as well. So they say that you can wash this along with other diapers, but I've washed it on warm and that kind of warped it a bit. So I think this wool portion is best hand washed, and that's just a little bit more cumbersome than a regular cotton diaper. Let's see how we would put this on. This size is going to be huge on the baby doll. Even on my baby, I fold it down a little bit in the back. Yeah, this is just not really going to fit on her. I would pinch it in between the legs bring it up, fan this out. This is nice and stretchy, this portion on the front. Again, roll up, doing good key method before stretching this across. Roll up the other side. I'm a little scared to use a snappy on this. Got it tucked in there, but I do believe snappy is what I was doing on my baby. Okay, oh. Well, just as a rough example, again, you do want to make sure it's tucked in. So this is a great option if you want a natural absorbent fabric. That's why I wanted to experiment with using wool, and it is so soft and squishy. This makes for a really squishy bottom. He's wearing the wool contour diaper with the wool dual half flat inside of it. You can pair that wool contour with wool bubble shorts. You've got wool overload and ready for bedtime. Just to summarize, in this video we covered Preflats, Eflats from Nikki's Knickers, Tail Fin Flats by Siren Sea Creations, Fixed Flats by The Blythe Life, BeEflats by Spunky Rumps, and Contour Diapers. All of these are made by work-at-home moms, so next up I'm going to share some tips for when you're purchasing diapers from a work-at-home mom shop. I have had a lot of fun experimenting with all these different variations on my baby, but I still also really love a plain old square stretchy flat cloth diaper, like we covered in part 1 of this video series. All of the diapers shown in this video are sold by work-at-home mom shops, so I wanted to give you a few tips of how you could purchase some for yourself. So only a couple of these shops stock and have inventory available all the time. For instance, Noble Bebe usually has Preflats you can purchase. If not, they restock on Tuesdays and Fridays. Many of these shops though, they do what they're called drops, and they load their products onto the website at a specific day and time, and you have to be really quick to purchase. So here are some tips. Join the Facebook group so you'll be notified when the next drop is coming up. Create an account on the website so you're all logged in and ready to go, and have Shop Pay set up on your computer or your phone, whatever device you're planning to use. Then mark your calendar and set an alarm for a little bit before the drop. You're going to want to have time to log in on your computer, and then what I do is when it gets to be about a minute before the drop time, I just start refreshing my screen like crazy until I see the products load. The fastest way to purchase is usually just to buy that item right through Shop Pay, or you can try to load up your cart before you check out, but the items may not be available anymore by the time you go to check out. Some of these sell out in a matter of minutes. If you weren't looking to drop, you can always check the buy sell trade group and see if you can get one that way. That's it for our 2-part series on flat cloth diapers. Now you may want to go back and watch my series from the Flats and Hand Washing Challenge, where I hand washed cloth diapers for a week straight using a scrubble wash bag. And if you're interested in cloth diapering with natural cloth diapers and wool diaper covers, take a look around our Easy Peasy channel. We have a lot more videos here to share. Please subscribe for more on natural cloth diapering and elimination communication.